There you go. You hear me now? I don't know how I messed up. I had no sound. Oh, I gotta start back over again. Okay, what's up, American Tradesman? What's up? What's up? What's up? Glad to see you over here. You on the other channel. Support the channel. Hit the Cash App, Super Chat. Yeah, yeah. Hit that. Give me a sub. I got a lot of members, videos on members, so become a member. Appreciate it. You know, on Uncle REG Daily News. You can give me a gift or something. I'm gonna let those gifts. Your gifts and stuff. You can support the channel. One thing, like and sub, like and sub, like and sub. But we're gonna be here for a while. We gotta talk about the Tupac murder trial and go over day 3. We kept that. I think they doing day 4 right now. I think when they go on trial, they just seem like they wait till like 9 o'clock or something like that, 10, 11 o'clock. Go on trial. Cause I'm going like, damn, it'd be like 12, 11 o'clock here. Cause they in California over here, Los Angeles. So they go on late, like 11 o'clock and shit, to go to trial and shit. I thought that at least with the other trial, other case, it was there early. It was there like 8 o'clock or some shit to start. But it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna go over there and go over Charleston White. He did it again. He on some bullshit again. We gotta talk about that and some other things. Now, next thing I want to talk about is people that been hating on me. Reg's bad guy basically. Not too much Uncle REG's I switched up, but yeah, man, seen a lot of videos caught up. Motherfuckers talking shit about me, saying I'm broke and getting no pussy and all this. They still worried about me getting pussy. Why? I mean, I think you need to be worried about yourself. If I'm not worried about it, you shouldn't be worried about it. You trying to run my dick or something? Shit, I want my sex life. What the fuck? I'm crazy. You know, don't make any sense. But then they talk about, oh, he's on disability, you're on this, yeah, you live with his mom. I know I live with my mom. I take care of my mom. Shit, it's 80, to be 89 in a couple of days from now. 89 years old. Yeah, so hey man, shout out to my mom right there. Yeah, supposed to take care of you. I wish I had a mom living with y'all. Got 89 years. Going to be 90 in a minute. I hope so. That will happen. She get to 90, 91, 92, 93, 4, 100, 110, 115, 20. Be history. Yes, 125. Yes. When the last time a old white woman lived to 130? That was back in us. Back in the Reconstruction days. Yeah, yeah. Oh, see what video? Oh no, that's an old video. Old video. I was looking at some old video Soul put out. The Ty C on there talking shit, And then he where he's at? Nowhere. So there's no really reason for me to respond to them because people come and go, talk shit, this and that, third, and then they end up disappearing in the next year from now. I see them go, see them come. I have beef with a lot of people on here, and I'm still here. They're not. Either they got banned or just burnt out. They got in some bullshit drama with somebody else, or they got caught up in some scandal, sex scandal and shit, fucking little girls or whatever the case may be, PDF file shit. I'm the old constant. I'm the constant of this motherfucker, man. I'm still here, still doing it. Whether I start over, rebrand, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Our channel got terminated. I'm still here. Most people can't say that. I did make money on here. I don't know where they're getting that from. Oh, you didn't make no money. Why you can't claim no taxes on here? You don't make it. What the fuck? Why are you in my pockets? This is some crazy shit. I don't know. What's it? You got nothing better to do? A lot of these motherfuckers talking to goddamn tethers, losers, nerd motherfuckers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But doing the nigga verse and doing the B shit is not gonna work, man. YouTube's clamping down on all that stuff. Why do you think I got out of the shit, man? Because you can't get monetized. You're not gonna get monetized. Niggas talking shit, and they're not even monetized. I say, okay, you should be worried about getting money. You got a channel, you got some viewers. Why don't you get monetized? And Warren, there's no reason for me to talk about him because I said everything I could said about him. He fucked up by putting his situation on here for everybody to see. Yeah, that shit shouldn't even be going on, man. That shit should be deaded by now. I don't understand why that shit is still going. That shit there should be gone. This is a long-standing beef between two married couple on here. This is crazy. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Okay, let me see what Spirit said. You said that the third ward is just Warren trying to get with the Nene. Oh, yes? Well, I mean, shit. You can get with anybody you want. But she still, apparently, from what the Nene said, when I went up on a panel, well, I didn't go to a panel, but I was there in the chat, that Warren didn't sign the papers. So they still legally married, but that don't mean nothing. I mean, not anymore. So I mean, and he had to talk shit about me and stuff. I just, dude, why don't you get the paper signed? What you hanging in there for? I'm trying to say, it's time to go. It's time to go. So you can say I moved on. You ain't moved on until you sign those papers. You ain't moved on nowhere. Nobody moved on. Just sign them. Get rid of the shit. I don't know what kind of excuse you're gonna give. It's her doing it. Whatever. Both of y'all need to sign the paper. Sign the paper. So get this shit over with. Divorce. That's it. Y'all two need to be divorced legally for good, and that's it. Unless y'all still want to be together, that's the only reason I could come up with the fact that you still want to not sign the papers or anything like that. It finishes this situation off. I still wanna we still want to be together. I don't know. I'm just saying, jeez. But y'all gotta get rid of this, man. You gotta stop this, man. But like I said, you ain't listening to me. You motherfucker blaming me. You mad at me because of me talking about this. Jeez. But anyway, what does it matter? Nothing. It looks like they're gonna keep on doing the same thing 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. It'd be sad if they be still bickering like this 3 years from now and nobody signed the papers. That'd be some wild shit. I don't know what to say. But I think that it just seemed to me, we always gonna have haters, man. Always gonna have haters on here. Everybody has haters. Everybody getting scandal. Everybody get dumped on. It doesn't matter. That's a part of the game here. It's just don't get mad when it's your turn. And I never got mad when it was my turn. For real though. For real though. So let's get into the next thing. You notice that the Tasha K versus the FBA, that whole situation it's gone. It's faded to black. Nobody's talking about it now. And ETX was trying to capitalize off of it instead of trying to get extended time. But when Tasha K said, I'm not talking about it no more, that was it. It was the end. So she did the right thing, I'm not talking about it. Whatever fans she lost, and that's it. It's only 30, maybe 50,000. I'll say maybe 70, 80K fans she probably lost. Maybe. But out of a million something, and she gonna get more anyway because she got that deal now. So so she did the right thing. You just have to take the loss. You got to bite the bullet on it. But she's not gonna miss no FBA no more. I guarantee you that. No time in the future she ain't gonna miss that shit. She just leave that shit alone. And Michi X is sad because she thought that she was gonna take her place. I take all the heat and they get all the attention because they want to get in the algorithm. All of them want to get in the algorithm. She want to get in the algorithm because she's not in nobody algorithm right now. And she was trying to get into the FBA algorithm, but it didn't work and shit. The shit got shut down and that was it. Ain't nobody talking about that shit now. We talking about Tupac trial. They talking more about Charleston White, which I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. Than that. Yeah. So BTX try to put a fast one, it didn't work. So hey, that's what happened when you try to chase these algorithms. And trying to go viral and shit. So next thing I want to talk about is what Star is talking about black women with white men, apparently. Should black women be with white men? Played a video of this psychologist, this doctor, did a study, black women, white men, saying they get along with them better and all this. There's not that many good choices out there for black women because they outnumber men, and then a lot of the younger men is getting caught up in jail and dying in the streets and this and that and third. So women, they don't have a choice. They don't have that much choice. So she's telling these women to go date other men, race of men, mainly white men. So that discussion is being had and stuff. It's basically, dragging up the swirler conversation again. I think Kristen Harrison would love to have that type of conversation because she's, part of the queen of the swirlers. It's interesting to see what she had to say about it. You know what? Someone unsubscribed me from Kristen Harrison too. Have you been getting unsubscribed by people? Because I used to be subscribed to her just to see what's going on, whatever she put out. Gone. Unsubscribe, Tiny TKO, wrong. I don't know. Maybe YouTube saying if you don't constantly look at that person's channel, they unsubscribe it from you. That should be the case, but I don't think that's the case. You subscribe to somebody, you subscribe to them, and you get the notification. I think the thing is that you're not getting notifications if they're coming up and doing a live. That's the problem. YouTube is bad with that. I don't know what's going on. And I think they're going through the system now for some reason because they changed the viewer qualifications. I think you get more views now because the shorts and the live videos will be counted as one view now or something like the same as the pre-recorded views or whatever the case. So you get more views or something like that. But I think they're going through the system because it took a little bit longer to load up some videos a day. Usually when that happens or some glitches happen, they're going through the system. I think a lot of people don't notice it and stuff, but I notice it. They're going through the system for something, checking something about to happen because they're going through the system. Maybe it's that changing everything up, but yeah, it was taking a little bit longer for me to load. I usually load, no problem. On the phone might take a little bit longer because it's on the phone and stuff, but on the desktop, poof. It's taking longer. So okay, somebody looking at my channel or other people's channels, for something. You know. So this conversation, is not new about the black women with white men and white men will be better and all this stuff. You know, it doesn't matter. It's same old conversations. But lately, it's a lot of these white women that been with these white guys, man, they be getting killed by them. I don't know if that's a good thing now. You know, chopped up, head cut off, ran over by a car, burned up, and shit. I'm like, God damn, won't be shit. I thought it was good on the other side. Y'all getting with these serial killers, just because a motherfucker like you will spend money on you, and don't complain and all this other. It's something to that. It's always a price. It's always a price. And that Shooter 7 is gonna get motherfuckers jammed up, man. I'm telling you, Shooter 7 is gonna get these women jammed up if they haven't jammed up already. Cause that shit is not gonna work nowadays. That she teaching them over there ain't gonna work. And I know she's using witchcraft and stuff and using potion number 9 and put on them so you gotta fall over them and all that shit. And there's some real serious deception going on over there. To the 18th power. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. American tradesman. All right. So let's get into the topics. Charleston White, man. Charleston White is at it again, man. Charleston White got in some bullshit at another interview. It seems like all the interviews is going bad. It's always going left now. I don't know how long you can keep this up. People paying him $10,000, $20,000 and stuff to just to get cursed out and him getting in a fight with him. I wouldn't. Why I pay money? I hope these people didn't pay him the money after all this stuff happened. I hope they just gave him part of it and then the rest, you ain't getting it. Just in case the interview go bad. I wouldn't. I would wait. I said, you get the money. If the interview go good, you get the money. If it doesn't go good, you ain't getting the money. I'll give you $1,000 right up front for your troubles just to come. Then I'll give you the rest of the money if once the interview is finished. Because if the interview go haywire, you ain't getting no money. I'll put that out. Because right now, you just look at him. He's making motherfuckers look like a fool. Mercenary man, what's up? You took my wrench again? I ain't take nobody wrench. Ain't nobody been over here. Shit, it's the first time. Let's see. Let's see. There you go, Mercenary man is back. There you go. And support the channel. Support the channel. Cash App, Super Chat. Something. Get the $1, $2, $3 back again. The Uncle REG needs some money. Shit. Yeah, I've been offline for a while. Shit. Trying to rebuild this channel back up again. You know? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Charleston White, we're gonna play this video. You gotta see this, folks. You gotta see this. Let's see. All right. Now, hold on real quick, folks. All right. Let's go ahead and play this. You gotta check this out.
Charleston White nearly gets physical during heated confrontation.
Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, man! You put your shit in your what? Put my phone up. I'm out there like what?
Uh-oh.
I ain't got to move. My nigga hit the car here at that pill.
So now Charleston White got security now. Charleston White got security now. He said, I don't need to move. Look. Now they in the Hilton Hotel. Nice hotel. Doing this bullshit.
I fucked that whole ass nigga. I broke the trophy. Want to hit him across the head with it. Cause I stopped the whole ass nigga twisting and turning. Yeah. You want to go get on your ass. No, nigga. That's why I shut that bitch ass down. Shut that bitch ass up, nigga. Say y'all been calling the police on that guy in the white shirt if he keep up that noise. We were doing a professional interview and the guy got out of line. So we need to get the police over here. We can get him.
Charleston White nearly gets physical during heated confrontation.
That nigga was snitching too. You see this shit? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this nigga up here snitching and shit too. This is crazy, man. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, we're gonna play it again one more time.
Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, nigga! Shut the dumb nigga up, man! You put your shit in your what?
Put my phone up. I'm out there like what? Sit down, man. Check yourself.
I ain't got to move. My nigga hit the car here at that pill.
What he said don't let the nigga walk up on me. So he got security. I told you he talk all this shit. Man, I wouldn't invite him in there. I said yes. I gave you to. Well, how much? Yeah, what you want? Oh, 15, 20? Okay. Yeah, we'll give you $1,000. You come here. You get $1,000. If the interview go good, you get paid the rest. If it don't, you curse my audience out or my crew, my staff, or anything out, then guess what? You don't get nothing. You just go home with $1,000. That's it. But that's all you're getting until the interview is finished. No, I won't be paying him nothing. No, man, because this nigga come, he's highway robbery. He get 15 and curse you out and curse everybody else out. And then turn around and put it on YouTube and make a bundle of money up from it. And still go viral for that.
I fucked that whole ass nigga. I broke the trophy. Want to hit him across the head with it. Cause I stopped the whole ass nigga twisting and turning.
Look, this nigga tweaking too, I think.
We gonna get on your ass. No, nigga. That's why I shut that bitch ass down. Shut that bitch ass up, nigga. Say y'all been calling the police on that guy in the white shirt if he keep up that noise. We were doing a professional interview and the guy got out of line. So we need to get the police over here. We can get him.
Charleston White near.
Damn. Man, this is crazy, dog. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Charleston White will still keep doing what he's doing until the people stop fucking with him. If the people stop really fucking with him, stop giving these interviews, then that's the only way to stop him. Or he gets shot somehow. Some deranged motherfucker nigga just got tired of Charleston White just said that got nothing to do with Jay Prince or any other person that he got beef with. We're gonna take a pot shot at him and put him in the hospital or kill him. That's the only way gonna be stopped. I don't think Vlad and them people like say Cheese TV, they're not gonna stop giving interviews. Because they're gonna make money off of it. They're gonna make money off his death. So they're gonna be getting the last laugh off of that nigga. They just waiting for him to die. Oh, we'll make a shitload of money when this nigga died. Oh yeah, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. He ain't, he gonna be dead. Somebody else gonna make the money. So folks, let's go ahead and get on to the Tupac trial. I'm gonna play this other. First, I'm gonna play the video of Mob James. No, Suge Knight. Now, Mob James said that he worked for Suge Knight, his security for his club. This is what he said. You will hear it in a minute. But then Suge say something else different. Apparently, he made a call to TMC, and he told Harvey what's really going on from a jailhouse call. Let's go play this.
You and I had a talk last night, and you were kind of grousing about people who were testifying that aren't telling the real story. Would you explain to our viewers, please?
Oh, first of all, my opinion, Tupac was the most incredible person you can have as a friend, as a brother, and still today, his morals. Number one, all these guys perjuring themselves on the oath. Number one, James never worked for me, never was head of security for me, and I can see he's a little bitter because Tupac put him on his pockets before. But the most important thing to this is that...
So he's saying that Tupac did knock him out. Let's play that back again. Alan, what's up, man? What's going on, man? Long time. Yeah. Some of y'all trying to come back now. All right. Yeah. Support the channel. I appreciate it, man. Shit. I'm out here drinking water and stuff. I'm watered. No beer money. Man, they trying to kill us in California. Ask Alan, man, with this gas and shit. With everything else, food, everything else. It's just crazy. Anyway, let's go.
That was head of security for me, and I can see he's a little bitter because Tupac put him on his pockets before. But the most important thing to this is that they're not coming in to get the truth. Everybody knows he's an FBI informant.
Damn.
Everybody knows he's a rat. So why we gotta act like he's gonna tell the truth? Don't KPD and James.
So hold on, I just want, you're saying that James McDonald, the guy who testified, said that he worked for Death Row Records, talked about what he saw that night. You're saying he did not work for you at all?
No. Now, he might have been at the club hanging out trying to hustle people. They're not putting the guy down or nothing like that. But he's an informant. He didn't work for me. If he would worked for me, he would have had a Death Row chain.
Damn.
He would have had a ring. You would have seen him in pictures around us hanging out. No.
Woo.
One other thing that's very important. It's time for a change. You have people who've been talking to me like Universal for doing a movie or documentaries and get all the information from my side, because I am Death Row, to talk about Death Row. Now they want to do with Snoopy, which I'm going to sue the shit out of him, because you have a lawyer that David Kenner gave all my files to and gave it to him to use my stuff.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
It's very important that people always, these guys at Universal who's trying to do these things at one-on-one.
We know about Suge and stuff like that, but they did take Death Row from him, right underneath him. They did take Death Row. We know that for a fact. So only got $25 million. When you got these other companies on here, had the same catalog. That's Death Row. They got 300, $500 million and shit. Come on, man, really? They should have got at least a good 600 from Death Row. Probably more than that. Tupac on there, and Snoop, and Dre, Dog Pound, Nate Dogg, Lady REG, RBX, DOC. That was under Death Row. What was it? No, it was on Easy. Yeah, DOC was under Ruthless. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying, man. Yeah. And Tupac was the biggest artist. Put out 3 albums over Death Row? A double album? And two other albums. Oh, come on, man. Really? Shit.
Stop making people deal with street justice. We should be grown enough to deal with regular justice.
So wait, are you saying
That's
you're
like
going to
the same
sue?
thing.
You're going to sue Universal? Or you're going to sue Snoop?
Well, Snoop is nobody, but I'm gonna sue Universal for taking my personal stuff. That's like when you look at it, Harvey. How is it every company that's way worse than the Death Row catalog sells for $300 million, $400 million? They offer me $700 million, but then they go and get it for $25 million. The same people who did the default justice against me. It's crazy.
See, I told you. Okay, let me stop sharing. But I wanted to play that, so we're gonna get into the trial in a minute. But Alan, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Support the channel, support the channel, support the channel, support the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I got some new music out. Yeah, I've been working on some music. So I'm putting that out. I didn't hear anything. I think somebody, again, YouTube unsubscribed me from you. I know they did. They had to. Because you ain't been over here for a while and stuff. You mean I didn't get no notification of you if you put some music out or something like that? That's crazy, man. What's going on with YouTube and these notifications and unsubscribing people? This is crazy. But you're right. You know, Charleston White is lucky he's not in Compton or South. Yeah, he would have been God already over here, man. There's no way. Y'all niggas nice over there in Texas and shit over there, whatever place he's going to. Y'all shit. He would have been God already. You can't be saying doing all that shit over here. Well, why do you think that what you call it was running through the LAX airport? What's the name? Future. When he was with Sierra because he owed some money. You don't play around over here, man. I'm sorry. They'll get you anywhere around here. Yeah, man. They'll get you. They'll get you. Even at the airport, you know. I'm just saying. Charles White would have got already down here, man. He's lucky he ain't sitting there. Let that nigga try to move to LA somewhere or Hollywood or someplace like that, over in the valley and stuff, talking all that goddamn shit. Coming in the club talking shit and going to interview talking shit. You know, he's gonna get his ass took. I'm just saying. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and play this interview. Let me get it ready. Not this interview. I'm talking about the trial day 3. I want to go over to day 3 because you have FBI, ex-FBI agent that was investigating Keefe D and Southside Crips and other organizations that had beef with them. The drug selling thing and stuff, and maybe some pimping too, and pandering going on. And you had the detective, LAPD detective, that was looking into all the murders that was going on, being done by Keefe D and his associates and the Tupac murder that it seemed like he got for free from Keefe D. Man, like I said, I think Keefe D's a rat. We get some rat motherfuckers out. You know. But anyway, hold on, let me get me a little refill. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Now it's day 4. I'm going back to day 3, and I want to play both this interview. So I'm going to finish the whole thing if I can. But I wanted to play this. See if I can push it up.
Do you think
Yeah, but Keefy D here, man, this dude is in a world of trouble, man. You know, I mean, I never seen a person that's a walking contradiction. He said one thing and then turn around and say another, and don't mean nothing. This is crazy. I think they put it on the sound because they saying some stuff that they don't want the public to hear. You know, so I think that's why they have it on mute sometimes.
Okay, back on record, State versus Davis, C-377-407. Looks like we have the jury lined up. Anything we need to address before we bring them in?
Not from the state.
Mr. Sam?
Yeah, we do have one request of the court. I understand that the state will be putting on a witness that actually has a medical appointment back in California tomorrow.
Okay.
And so as a result, I would like to be able to do my cross after they present.
So apparently one of the detectives got a medical appointment, so he's trying to get him to come in some other time, but it's like it's gonna be a problem or whatever.
All of their direct evidence, which would include the recording that will be played with regards to an interview with Mr. Davis. But I'd like to do that at the end instead of in the middle like we did yesterday or the other day with Detective Miller. There were questions I wanted to ask Detective Miller that I just couldn't do after the recording had been played. And so I understand that this detective would be in California tomorrow for the appointment.
So you understand that he's going to be back in California, but you still want to do it via Zoom?
Sure, yeah, because I don't want to miss with his appointment on.
So no objection to him doing it via Zoom, but you want the state to present all of the information that they're presenting through him, and then you do your cross?
Yes.
Okay. I think we can accommodate that, right, State?
Well, I mean, there is approximately 5 hours worth of recordings with him. Once it's into evidence, our choice to play it, whether he's on the stand or not, is when we decide to play it.
Okay.
During the trial. I explained to Detective Dupree that I planned to do my direct and his cross-examination today because I knew that he had to be out of here.
Okay.
I don't think he'd be opposed to subject to recall with Mr. Sant if he wants to go and would come back on by Zoom, but I am opposed to the idea that they're going to control the way we present our evidence. We'll do direct, we'll do cross. If there's anything he wants to additionally have from Detective Dupree, I don't think that he would necessarily be opposed to getting on a Zoom in his case.
All right. Do you guys want to talk to him real quick to see if he can be recalled? If there's something that needs to be done after everything's presented?
Okay, I just want to jump right. I heard the state basically say that they don't want me to dictate how they want to present the case. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm just saying...
You're not stipulating that they can play it outside.
Look, I mean,
like,
this
with the other
is a
witness.
matter of professional courtesy. I would definitely allow him to go back to California to do what he's doing. But he's on the stand. Technically, he's not supposed to be released until after the court releases him from the subpoena. And so as a result, if you want to play that game, then I would want him to stay here overnight so he can at least be cross-examined by me. I just was trying to be nice about it by doing it the other way, but it seems now like I have to recall this person. I don't trust that he wouldn't disappear in the wind. I don't care if he's a detective. Like, in my opinion, I've got a problem with that.
Well, yeah, but once a piece of evidence is admitted, it's our choice as to when to play it and how to play it. So, like, I'm not getting dictated how we do that. If he's done with cross, if he's going to delay cross and keep him on the stand long enough, he's free to play it during this cross-examination if he wants to. Once a piece of evidence is admitted, it's admitted, right? And
Right.
so I'm going to lay
if you're
the
going
foundation.
to have him verify it and then not play it until closings or something, that's your prerogative.
Or I could just, on Friday decide we're going to play, because we have hours and hours and hours of audio to play, and just having somebody sitting on the stand for audio is not necessary.
Okay.
I can present it in any manner I want to. It just doesn't require the witness to be here to listen to him.
So it sounds like what Mr. Samt is saying is he has no objection to you doing your direct and then playing it without him being here, and then he would like to do his cross tomorrow. So I was just going to see if...
I just don't think we'll be through it by tomorrow. I think it may be... because we have a witness coming tomorrow, so we may be breaking up 2008 and then later on playing...
Yeah, so what it is that I think he's trying to play audio, but he's saying that his witness aren't to be there for the audio. So he's going to play the audio, that's it. And I guess that's all that's happening today. Because he was talking about this was like yesterday. So I'll go back, of course, and we're going to see, what they talking about in day 4 and stuff like that. Because they always be playing day 3 until the trial starts, and then they play the trial. Cut in and play the trial. But anyway, let's go.
2009, so I don't know when that's going to happen in our presentation of the evidence.
I understand that.
Kind of the issue that we're having, because we're really juggling a lot of out-of-state witnesses because nobody was in Vegas when this crime occurred.
Have you been wrongfully fired from your job?
What I'll do is after you listen to when the state is done with their direct, and they've admitted what they want to admit and they say that they're done, I'll turn to you and you can let me know if you want to cross-examine now or if you want to ultimately recall him on your own for your presentation. And
There's a little bit of a regret with regards to Detective Miller, and I do understand there were some audio-visual problems with his connection, right, in terms of his... There are questions that I look back and listening to this video or this audio that I should have asked him that I didn't ask him. I do not want to fall into that same regret with regards to Detective Dupree. So I just know that there will be questions.
do you want me to ask then? I guess I was just trying to get somebody to figure out if he would be available at a later time for recall. That's all I'm trying to do at this point so that I can see what my options are.
I'd be happy to go out and talk. I think he's in the back.
So if you guys want to talk to him and see if he has a time afterwards, I understand your concern. I understand your point that we can just admit it and play it at closings, essentially. We don't, once something's admitted, you can play it whenever you want. That is true. You also may have questions that get formulated after the item is presented. So let's see if there's a possibility for him to be recalled at all at any point. I have no problem with doing that, but I don't know if he's available. So go check with him, and then we can come up with a plan. Sure.
Okay, we'll see what's going to happen now. I moved up a little bit. Okay. There's probably Tupac family right there. Or what's it called? I know that is Tupac brother. He's there too. There's Mo Preem. There we go. Mo Preem right there. Tupac brother.
Detective Dupree has agreed to be available Friday morning.
Okay.
If Mr. Sanft has any additional questions by way of Zoom, we figure by then we'll be through the two statements.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. All right, perfect. So, looks like that's been resolved. Anything else we need to address outside presence?
Not from the state.
All right, let's bring the jury in.
Captain Jerry?
This is a different issue.
Do the parties stipulate to the presence of the jury?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may be seated. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for accommodating me as we started a little bit later. I appreciate your time. At this time, we are still in the state's case in chief. Who's your next witness, Mr.
Wade Lee.
Okay.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this section shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
My name is Wade Lee, W-A-D-E-L-E-E.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for being here. Mr. DiGiacomo, whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Thank you. Let me just get the clerk a nice thing in order. I know we're kind of messed up, but excellent. Sir, back in the 90s, how were you employed?
I was a special agent with the FBI.
How long were you with the FBI?
25 years.
And when did you start?
May of 1996.
May of 1996?
Yes.
You haven't been retired that long, actually.
5 years.
I want to direct your attention to the 1997, 1998 time period. What was your assignment? What were you doing for the FBI at that time?
I was assigned to a squad that was working the State Streets Task Force. I was on basically the Violent Crimes Major Offenders program, working gangs in South Central LA.
And you said Project Safe Street, and that's a federal task force that has multi-agency people on it?
Yes, that's correct. The way it was generally organized, there were several squads in LA, the LA division of the FBI.
They said he retired in 96? What you said? That's not that long? I don't know. I don't know what I'm hearing, man. I don't know. Let's go. Let's continue.
That were assigned to different regions of the the area, the territories. My squad was assigned to the Watts area of Los Angeles, South Central.
Yeah, see, they was invested. The FBI was investing in all that drug trade that was going on. That's what they was doing. They're bringing RICO and shit.
And as part of your duties, did you have a partner by the name of Agent Holiday?
Yeah, Todd Holiday, yes.
Did there come a point in time when the two of you, along with other members of your squad, begin an investigation into a criminal street gang by the name of Grape Street?
Yes.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what Grape
Now, this is interesting. So this is a Grape Street connection. You can see how Grape Street is connected to this too. This is crazy.
Street is?
Grape Street. The Grape Street Crips was a large gang organization that operated out of the Jordan Downs housing projects in Watts. It was basically believed to be the largest Crip set in all of America. And our squad was working the violent aspects and drug dealing and aspects of that organization.
As part of your investigation into Grape Street, did you come across a person that you identified as Dwayne Davis?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Davis here in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you point him out and describe something he's wearing?
It's the gentleman sitting in the at the defendant's table.
I mean, he know him because this is the one that gave his proper agreement. That's why.
With the blue shirt and tie.
This is why you should.
Boy, this is wild.
Is it that you came across Mr. Davis?
During the course of our investigation with Grape Street, when you're looking at the organization, there was numerous techniques that we used for investigating, whether it was informants, wiretaps, surveillance, active interviews, and things of that nature. During the course of that interview, Mr. Davis kind of came under the umbrella under the course of our investigation of one of his associate family members by the individual of the name Rodney Blackman.
And did Rodney have a nickname?
Speedy.
During the time period that you're doing this investigation, well, let me ask you this. As part of Project Safe Streets, as well as being assigned to the Watts area, were you aware of the various gang sets and their
Yeah, I mean, while our squad was working that investigation on Grape Street, you always would have crossover in other areas. For example, in Watts, there were 3 main housing project areas. Each of them you had fairly prominent gang organizations, as well as gangs that came up from the Compton area and other parts of South Central Los Angeles. So there's usually crossover, whether it's from drug activity or other sort of gang violence, things like that.
And you mentioned one of them, the Jordan Downs.
Yes.
What type of housing, what type of gang activity was going on in the Jordan Downs?
So Grape Street Crips operated out of Jordan Downs housing projects. They basically controlled that whole housing project as far as the drug trafficking, violent activity, and things of that nature.
If somebody were hiding out from blood gang members hunting him, and he was a Crip, obviously, would it be safe for him to be inside the Jordan Downs?
Yeah, from other rival gangs and things of that nature, yes, generally speaking.
And you mentioned that Mr. Davis had a cousin, I'm going to call Speedy. At some point, do you wind up learning?
So he had a cousin from Grape Street. And when the Tupac situation went down, he got murdered, he was over there with Speedy, hiding out Speedy in among the Jordan Downs projects, Grape Street. He was afraid that somebody would take his life after Tupac got hit.
Information that allows you to arrest Mr. Davis for some criminal offenses.
Yes, we were part of our investigation while we were up on
CDA guy. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Mr. Blackman. There was a period of time when Mr. Davis actually was staying with Blackman. It was actually after the Tupac Shakur murder.
Yeah, Speedy.
During the course of our investigation of the Grape Street Crips and of Blackman and things like that, we were able to obtain information and evidence to develop a case against Mr. Davis.
And can you just describe the general allegations of the case?
It was drug trafficking, 2 kilos. He was indicted and arrested for selling 2 kilos of cocaine.
Damn.
And the type of evidence you had against Mr. Davis, what was it?
Most of it was telephone conversation intercepts from wiretaps, court-authorized wiretaps.
And based upon the charges, ultimately, do you indict Mr. Davis for some crimes related to drug trafficking?
Yes, he was indicted, arrested, and then eventually pled guilty.
The type of sentence Mr. Davis was facing when he was indicted, what kind of range?
So this was way back then. He was already gone. He was about to get 20 years. Apparently, he made a deal.
Are we talking for those kind of charges?
I believe it was around somewhere in the nature of 10 years initially, but it varies depending on individuals' prior criminal history, whether they were felony convictions, drug trafficking offenses, and things of that nature.
No, I'm not related to him. No. I got people from Compton. I don't think I'm related to him. He was in South Side. We lived over there by Centennial High School. It was blood. I'm just saying. So no, I'm not related to him.
It also varies depending on the type of drug that the individual might have been accused of trafficking. Even back then, and at that time period, the federal sentencing guidelines, there was a difference in sentencing for rock cocaine, crack cocaine versus regular powder cocaine and things of that nature. And he was indicted for trafficking 2 kilos of powder cocaine.
As part of that investigation, does there come a point in time when you do what's known as a proffer with Mr. Davis?
Yes, we did.
And describe for ladies and gentlemen of the jury what a proffer is.
So a proffer interview session would be, it's usually considered, it's a fairly common practice, particularly in the federal criminal justice system, where we have an individual who's been indicted and arrested, and it sort of is the beginning of a negotiation for a plea agreement, if you will. What we do is the U.S. Attorney's Office, the defendant's attorney, they all agree that to conducting an interview with the FBI. The terms of that agreement are such that the defendant has to be open and candor, tell the truth regarding the questions that we ask him. In return, the FBI, Department of Justice, will not use what the defendant says in that proffer session against him in this case, in chief that we have him charged with. There's a couple little caveats. One being that if during trial the defendant goes on to make statements that contradict what he said in that proffer session, at that point it violates it, and we can use his statements against him. Those are generally in nature. And we agree to keep the The nature of the interview confidential.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yeah.
So he made a profit agreement, you know, he snitched. That's when he got busted for those 2 kilos of cocaine. We go over there living with his cousin on Break Street. It's wild, man. But I think he broke the proper agreement, you know. But I think Keefy D talked too much, man. And he should have never wrote no book, which he said he did.
Simply peel off the adhesive.
And I don't know. He said he wanted money. He did it for the money, but still, this is a bad move, man. Stupid. Look, he's shaking his head. You made a deal with the FBI, nigga. Too late for that shit. Look like he's mad and shit. What are you gonna be mad for? You snitching out here.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you may proceed.
Damn walking rat and shit, man. Shit.
When you had your 1998 proffer with Mr. Davis, well, first of all, were you by yourself, or were there? Did you have your partner Todd Holliday with you?
Todd Holliday attended, as well as the Assistant United States Attorney, along with the attorney for Mr. Davis, who were also there.
And what was his name?
If I refer to by.
Well, I have what's marked as State Proposed Exhibit 46. I know you got a copy there.
That's fine.
How about we use the one that I have marked, and then I'll take these back from you.
Would reviewing those notes refresh your recollection as to the name of his attorney?
Yes, Edie Fall.
Okay, after reviewing that, has your recollection been refreshed?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
And it's Edie Fall?
Yes.
Understood. You may proceed.
First of all, let me ask this. Up until you were contacted sometime this year, have you maintained the confidentiality of this conversation that you had with Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And as far as you're aware, your partner Todd Holliday also maintained the confidentiality of it?
Yes, as far as I know.
And before you hit the stand today, or sometime last week or the week before, or at some point, the United States or the U.S. Attorney's Office issued a letter authorizing you to testify to these 2 conversations you had with Mr. Davis.
Yes, referring to the TUI letter, yes.
And that's a requirement that state prosecutors have to get permission from the federal government to allow you as an agent or former agent to testify to actions you took in your official capacity as a federal law enforcement officer.
Yes, regarding those 2 interviews, yes.
How is your proffer with Mr. Davis documented?
Usually we use the standard FBI reporting mechanism, which is a FD 302 report.
And that is essentially a report that lays out the information you received. There's no audio recording of that particular conversation.
That's correct.
And is there a FBI 302 of what's in front of you? And I forgot the number. Is it 146?
146.
146, is that a fair and accurate copy of the description of the conversation that you were a part of with Mr. Davis on July 16th of 1998?
Yes, it is.
Move to admit 146. 9.
No objection.
So admitted.
Now, I'm not going to have you go through everything that was in there, but what is your purpose in talking to Mr. Davis in the proffer session?
Well, the purpose is to glean as much information as we can regarding what he knew or knew at the time regarding gang, drug, violent activity going on within the Watts and Compton areas.
Were you investigating directly, at least, the Tupac Shakur murder?
Not directly. Like it wasn't. We weren't assigned. We were working our normal gang activity investigations. However, it was known to us that he was a person of interest. Mr. Davis was a person of interest regarding that homicide.
And so during this proffer session, you asked him questions about that as well?
Yes, we did.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, see, that was state. That's federal. This is federal. And it was out was for the drugs. It was looking for that. Breaking the RICO laws and all that. You know, anything else they can get up and try to break down the street gangs. You know, it wasn't one of but they heard of it. See, they probably know of what the situation with Tupac. They can't say too much. But hey, it's what it is. God damn.
Go through 146 in front of you, and actually I can roll it up here on the screen for you. Oh, well, it would help if I plugged the computer in. So that's what the front page of this 302 says. Is confidential and it has the date and a description of who the people that are present for this particular proffer are.
That's correct.
The very first part of the interview, and let's close that. There you have a discussion with Mr. Davis about an individual called Zip. Tell us what he tells you about this individual Zip initially.
Initially, that Zip was an individual from New York who was a pimp who controlled girls, numerous girls, sold marijuana. He did just mention that Zip was involved in PCP trafficking. And that Davis at one point arranged for an individual by the name of Patrick Bernard to give Zip some PCP. So Zip came from New York to LA to conduct the transaction.
And did he also mention how he met Zip?
Yes, he said he met Zip at a baseball game somewhere in approximately 1993 or 94. There was an individual named Fats who's also at the game that introduced Davis to Zip.
And then he talks to you a little bit about who Fats is.
Yeah, Fats was a large cocaine supplier who operated in West Side LA. He was also known as Flint. Davis associated with Fats prior to 1994, up until basically the time, I guess, where Fats was arrested and taken into federal custody.
Damn.
I'm going to skip past some Fats. There's a part of this conversation, a person by the name of Wayne Day comes up. Do you know who Wayne Day is?
Yes, Wayne Day was actually arrested by the squad that I worked on, the State Street Task Force. He was a large-scale drug dealer, drug trafficker in the Watts area, Compton, with Grape Street Crips.
And does Davis describe his relationship as it relates to Mr. Day?
Never do this with an older cat.
there was he mentioned that they were related. That Davis had an uncle who was the uncle of Wayne Day. So how he described it.
And then there's a conversation in this next paragraph where Mr. Davis makes mention of Mr. Day having Compton sewn up. What does sewn up mean?
Well, in terms of
got control of the whole neighborhood. That's what that sewn up mean. Or I guess you didn't understand slang, I guess, or street slang. Or that's not even really too much of a hard slang to decipher. But anyway, what do I know?
having control of all the drug trafficking in that specific area, and actually, there was agents mentioned to him. It said that Wayne Day had Compton sewn up, and Mr. Davis said actually that he had part of Compton sewn up, that he didn't have the south side part that Davis operated in.
And then does he tell you what his role is in the south side part of Compton as it relates to drug trafficking?
When you say he, you're referring to
Mr. Davis, sorry.
That Mr. Davis had that side of Compton handled as far as the drugs.
And did he talk to you about who handled the north side of Compton?
Yes, he did. It was an individual who was a former Compton PD officer by the name of REG Jr.
Right. I'm going to drop down a little bit here to the part where he talks to you about both him and Mr. Blackman being major suppliers in the Jordan Downs housing project in Watts.
That's correct.
And then he begins to talk to you about the start of Death Row Records.
Yeah. Again, that was all part of the, overall investigations that we were looking at as far as the gang activity and things of that nature. And he mentioned there was an individual by the name of Harry O that provided money to start the
Harry O. So people say, "Oh, he didn't put the money." Harry O did. Some people said, refuting that.
Death Row Records. Also, what's his name? I believe Patrick Johnson provided approximately $80,000. Actually told Davis to give $80,000 of that money that Davis owed to Johnson from previous gang transactions to Johnson's girlfriend, so that money can be used to start Death Row Records.
Damn.
And he also explains Marion Suge Knight's role and his connection to the Blood gang members.
Yes, he did. He said that Marion Knight had gained control of the North Compton drug trade, and that he was associated with a bunch of the Blood Street gang members, like Ma Pyrus and such. And they were, getting, the Knight was getting them in and out of, getting them out of jail, bailing them out, and they would cooperate with Knight.
And basically, when Knight goes to prison, he tells you Reggie Wright kind of takes over.
Yeah, Reggie Wright Jr.
Now, I didn't know that Reggie Wright Jr. took over Death Row when Suge was in jail.
Took over the organization after Suge Knight was arrested.
You already mentioned Harry O. But Davis claims to actually be involved in the delivery of some of the money associated with the startup of Death Row Records.
Yes.
We didn't know that. We didn't know that Davis had put some money down to start up Death Row. Interesting.
Jump down. I'm going to start. You see at the top there. You ask him about his prior relationship with Mr. Knight prior to the murder of Tupac Shakur. You see that paragraph there?
Uh, yeah, I mean, Davis said that he told us that he never had any issues with Suge Knight or any of those individuals prior to the incident in Vegas with the killing of Mr. Shakur.
And Mr. Davis goes on.
This isn't a proper agreement. This isn't a proper agreement. So this nigga snitched on everybody. He just told, he gave up everything. Is it the proper agreement they reading?
And I'm going to skip down just a little bit, but he basically accuses two Compton Police Department officers, Sergeant Reynolds and Lieutenant Reggie Wright Sr., the father of Reggie Wright Jr., as basically being corrupt officers.
Yes.
I told you it was corrupt officers. I knew, oh shit. Blind man could see that Reggie White was corrupted. Shit.
Yeah, that Reggie Wright Sr. was a lieutenant with the Compton Police Department, and then Reggie Wright Jr. was a former officer with the police department. He had then started a company called Right Way Security, and then he was working with Suge Knight, doing security, although some claimed it wasn't on an official capacity, for Death Row Records, looking at their parties and such and things like that. And they would, Right Way Security, they would employ Compton PD officers and things of that nature to conduct their business for Mr. Knight.
And he also mentions Omar Bradley. Who's Omar Bradley?
Omar Bradley is former mayor of Compton, the city of Compton.
Damn.
He mentions Mr. Bradley, saying that he was associated with Knight and the other Blood Pyro gang members.
Skip through the part.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside.
It's diabolical, man.
Top of page 4, he provides information, or at least asserts that Reggie Wright Jr. is distributing drugs out of a particular location, and even names some people that are helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, remember, they had Reggie Wright on the stand the second day. And now this stuff come out. I don't know if they're going to bring Reggie Wright back on the stand. So he was selling drugs. A former cop. They be getting all these interviews up on Vlad TV and everywhere. Just Cheese. Say Cheese TV, Urban Politics, all of them shows. Shit.
Yes, he stated that Reggie Wright Jr. Had a drug distribution location, an auto body shop called Untouchables. That was located at the corner of Alondra and Washington in the city of Compton. There was the shop was owned by an individual by the name of Melvin Hurd, and then Hurd, a guy by the name of G. Ray and Jim helped distribute cocaine from the shop.
He also mentions some people that work for Reggie Wright Jr. assisting in the cocaine distribution.
Yes, he stated that Reggie Wright Jr. had an individual by the name of Mob James, who was a member of the Mob Pyru street gang.
So Reggie White basically hired Mob James, but he never was part of Death Row. He came under Reggie White.
Individual named Flip, who distributed out of a shop location on Compton Boulevard, and Harris. There was an individual known as Buntree. But at the time we wrote it out as Bump Tree, but we believe that actually was an individual known as Buntree, Montreal, or
Alton McDonald.
Yes,
Buntree, Buntry.
Yes, Alton McDonald, who was the brother of Mob James, which is James McDonald. Also another individual named Trayvon Lane, who was a Mob Pyro gang member, and then Kevin
Baby
Williams.
Lane. Baby Lane. That's what they're talking about.
And then
Gee.
they can kind of read this themselves, but at some point he talks about an incident that occurs at a neighborhood mall involving a person named Marcus. What does he tell you about that?
Yeah, this is a few weeks before.
Okay, hold on real quick. Let me get me out of the roof here. Hold on. Okay, let's continue.
For the murder of Tupac Shakur, this individual Marcus, who was a Southside Crip, was at a mall by himself. Several blood street gang members attacked him and started beating him up. Then an individual, Mr. Orlando Anderson, who was the cousin or nephew of Mr. Davis, observed what was happening and went in to help Marcus, and they beat up and fended off the other gang members.
And then he moves on to describe the incident at the MGM casino the night of Mr. Shakur's murder.
Yes, he did.
And what did he tell you?
He told us the day of the murder of Tupac Shakur that the Blood Street members, some Blood Street gang members saw at night. They saw Orlando Anderson. They attacked him because of the previous incident at the mall. After the attack, Mr. Davis, Anderson, Orlando.
So this is how all this started. Off of some gang shit that Tupac shouldn't have been involved in the first place.
Anderson and their girlfriends went back up to their hotel room at the Excalibur Hotel, and he said that was it. They didn't have any involvement. They stayed in the room the rest of the night.
You know, in sports, what they say, speed kills.
The room was in Anderson's name.
Yeah, the room was in Anderson's name. That they'd driven up to Vegas from the LA area in a Land Cruiser, and that they had some other associates, Corey Edwards, Kevin Davis, Terry Brown, aka Bubble Up, Big Dre, and Wynn also traveled to Las Vegas. They stayed at the MGM.
And he repeatedly denies to you knowing who killed Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, he said they didn't have any knowledge of what happened, that they weren't involved. He did later speculate that maybe it was some Compton police officers that were working for Suge Knight, and that maybe it was because he had heard that Tupac was talking about possibly leaving Death Row Records or something to that effect. But
his suggestion was...
Well, we heard that same thing too about this could have been an inside hit because Tupac wanted to leave Death Row.
Was that perhaps Knight, who's driving the car, had Compton police officers shoot Tupac in the car Suge's driving?
yes, something like that effect.
I'm going to keep rolling down here.
Let's see. Wait, hold on. Let me play it over.
Up to Vegas from the LA area in a Land Cruiser, and that they had some other associates, Corey Edwards, Kevin Davis, Terry Brown, aka Bubble Up, Big Dre, and Wynn also traveled to Las Vegas. They stayed at the MGM.
And he repeatedly denies to you knowing who killed Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, he said they didn't have any knowledge of what happened, that they weren't involved. He did later speculate that maybe it was some Compton police officers that were working for Suge Knight, and that maybe it was because he had heard that Tupac was talking about possibly leaving Death Row Records or something to that effect. But
his suggestion was that perhaps Knight, who's driving the car, had Compton police officers shoot Tupac in the car Suge's driving.
yes, something like that effect.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I'm going to keep rolling down here. He gets back at page 5 to talking about Zip. So how does he tell you? Well, he talks about Zip and how he becomes associated with the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, he said that back in 93, 94, Zip introduced Davis to Notorious B.I.G. at Summer Jam concert.
So when Biggie came out here, he was someone under the protection of Southside Crips, basically. And maybe that's why Biggie got hit. Because Biggie association with Davis and Zip. Interesting.
And Davis would associate with Notorious B.I.G. when he was in LA area, but they never had any like drug connections or anything like that.
He tells you that he was actually at the Peterson Automotive Museum the night Mr. Wallace was killed.
That's correct, yes.
And that he saw some, at least people associated with Death Row Records at that location.
Yeah, he told us that prior to that, the night of the murder, Davis observed some females associated with Death Row Records at the party. He said, well, like Jewel, a singer, Lachelle, a comedian for Death Row, and Davis believes that they saw Mr. Wallace at the event, and then called Blood gang members to come. Davis did say he observed Reggie Wright Jr. and DJ Quick, who was a performer for Death Row, Theo, a local disc jockey, and about 10 or 11 other Treetop and Fruitown Blood gang members arrived at the event. Davis told Mr. Wallace that they were to watch, that they were there and they should watch out. And then shortly thereafter, Mr. Wallace was shot, but Davis wasn't there. He didn't see who actually shot him.
But once again, he tells you
So this
that
is
he
kind of
believes
bad
that Reggie Rice
because
Jr.
this is bad because it's connected him with the death of Biggie too, in somewhat way, intersecting. Ugh.
blood gang members
Don't like to be him right now.
are the people that killed Mr. Wallace.
Yes, he said he believed that Reggie Wright Jr. and the blood gang members associated with him were the ones responsible for killing Notorious B.I.G. When asked who the individual was who actually killed him, based off of there was a composite drawing that was that had been provided and was kind of passed around, so we showed him that. Davis responded that the composite looked just like Reggie Wright Jr.
If you sit down, push, and only a little poop comes out, you have.
You remember the day that you arrested Mr. Davis on the indictment?
Yes.
What day was that?
I believe it was May 28th, 1998.
Was it the day before the Orlando Anderson's killed in his own shootout
Yes.
in California?
Yes.
And Mr. Davis talks to you a little bit about that without going into the specifics, but he talks to you a little bit about how Mr. Anderson wound up dying.
Yes, he did.
And thereafter, and I'm not going to go through all of these, he initially denies distribution out of state, but eventually talks to you about a lot of different locations engaged in distributing cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, we asked him to discuss all the individuals out of state who he supplied cocaine to.
Damn,
and all the
he snitched on everybody. You rat.
Individuals he supplied and distributed to. He initially said that he hadn't distributed out of state to anyone or knew of anyone who did it within the last 3 years, but then he went through and we started asking about specific individuals, and he would provide more details and information about who he had supplied and what he had supplied and sort of the details.
One of the people he talks about is Primo.
Yes. Primo was an individual that he bought cocaine from.
So that was his plug. Primo was his plug, apparently.
Like his supplier of kilos of cocaine. It's anywhere from 11,500 to 12,500 a kilogram. Primo fronted Davis one point up like 200 kilos of cocaine at a time. And Davis would go out and sell it and then pay Primo back.
So where all that money you had? Dude, you got fronted 200 keys? Where all that money go to? Well, I think he was living pretty good before they picked him up. He was okay. He lived out in Henderson. That was a decent area outside Vegas. I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure where the whole money go.
He also mentions Corey Edwards getting drugs from Mr. Davis and being out in Ohio and distributing cocaine in Ohio.
Yes, Davis said that at that time, back when we were interviewing him in '98, up until about 3 years prior, that he was supplying Corey Edwards, who was selling cocaine all over Ohio. But I guess Edwards got into, he said at one point Edwards got into some trouble with his Cleveland drug contact, and that individual started coming out to acquire cocaine directly from Davis. That was an individual named Bubs who resided in Cleveland.
Eventually, he describes how Primo goes back to Colombia and he gets a new supplier by the name of Samuel Lopez.
So Primo, I guess, departed the U.S. So we had to start selling cocaine in smaller quantities, and he came across a supplier by the name of Samuel Lopez, whose brother was actually in federal custody.
Damn.
Then Davis had heard that Samuel Lopez went back to Mexico after the FBI attempted to arrest him. And I guess there was a younger brother, or another Lopez, George Lopez, used to answer the phone for Samuel Lopez at the time.
And I'm not going to go into this, but there was a discussion of someone named Dupree, but that guy's full name was Azel Dupree Hall III, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He talks specifically about the phone calls that you were playing for him, that you had captured him on the wire.
That's correct.
Jeez, man.
This one. At the very end, he denies that he's the leader of the Southside Crips and claims Darnell Brim is actually the leader of the gang.
Yes, he's even though he had said that he was large-scale, basically a drug trafficker on that south side of Compton, that Darnell Brim was actually the head of the gang, if you will.
Okay. Now I want to move on. Shortly after that conversation that you had with Mr. Davis, did he enter a guilty plea to some charges and get sentenced to 70 months in federal prison?
Yes, he did.
That's a little less than 6 years. So he got some benefit from talking to you from what the...
Yeah, I don't know if it was 70 months. It might have been 77 months, 70 or 77 months. I don't recall specifically.
Judge, I have in my hand, it says it's admitted, but I don't remember offering it, a certified copy of the indictment, the plea, and the judgments of conviction in United States District Court for the Central District of California, case CR-98537, evincing his...
Can I have the parties approach?
Hey folks, Jason here.
What's up, Brian? Yeah, man, this guy, he's going back to jail. This fool going back to jail. So we're talking to him, he would have had 10, maybe 15 years off selling the dope case. So they gave him 6 years. Gave the nigga 6 years. Oh. Okay, let's go.
Conversation.
Yes, we did.
And up until the U.S. Attorney authorized you, you maintain that confidentiality.
That's correct.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Proposed Exhibit number 149. Is that the 302 that describes that particular conversation?
Yes, it is.
Move to admit 149.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admit.
And I'm going to put that one up on the screen. Can you tell me the date that occurred?
The interview, let's see here, April 15th, 1999.
Created on April 20th of 1999.
Correct.
Okay. You begin the conversation with him talking about Mr. Anderson and his death. Is that fair?
Yes, that's right.
And Mr. Davis tells you he's not aware of any motive for why blood gang members or individuals associated with death row records would have wanted to kill Anderson.
That's correct.
And then he repeats that he had nothing to do with either Tupac Shakur or Christopher Wallace's murder.
Yes, he actually, he said that himself and Mr. Orlando Anderson were not involved in the shooting death of Tupac Shakur, and as well as anybody else that he was.
But then when the FBI, when the LAPD detectives come up on the stand after him, he say that Keefe D said that he had something to do with the murder of Tupac. Oh, this is contradicting. I don't know who to believe. I don't know if to believe this fool or not. He's all over the place.
Was associated with, and with Tupac or Mr. Christopher Wallace, Notorious B.I.G.
Does he speculate again as to who would have been involved in these two murders?
Well, he said, he told us he didn't know who killed the two rap stars, but that he believed individuals from New York associated with Puffy Combs or individuals associated with Death Row Records could have killed Shakur, and that individuals associated with Death Row Records killed Mr. Wallace.
And then he talks a little bit of the gang war that occurs shortly after the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Yes. Basically, he said that there was a conflict between Davis and Mr. Marion Knight that resulted, as a result of the shootings, that the conflict, there was basically a war going on between Southside Compton Crips and Compton Blood Pirate Gang members, stemming from the mall altercation with Marcus Nunn and Orlando Anderson and other members of Southside Compton Crips, along with the Compton Blood gang members.
And he claims the reason that people believe that Orlando Anderson is the killer is that he asserts the Compton police is telling people that.
That's correct. He made comments that he believed that Compton PD members were putting out rumors that Orlando Anderson and them were involved.
Do you confront?
So you know what they were saying? They were saying that the Compton police had something to do with Tupac murder through Suge Knight. You can't even make this shit up. When they try to put it on Orlando. Oh boy.
Confront him about Mr. Anderson, the attack, and him being upset about that particular attack.
Well, we asked him about that, about the whole escalation of incidents because of the gang activity. They had the incident at the mall, then at the MGM Grand, then obviously the shooting of Tupac and things of that nature. Mr. Davis said that Davis and Anderson were upset after the casino's attack on Anderson, but they weren't going to strike back with so many police officers around that they would have struck back once they returned to Compton.
So he indicates to you that he's angry enough to do it. It's just he planned on doing it back in Compton, which instead of in Las Vegas.
Yeah, if they were, apparently it was because of police presence in the area, something of that nature.
I'm not going to go through all the rest of this. The jury can read sort of the rest of this. Let me just check the very bottom. Well, thank you, Agent. That completes my questions.
Okay. Mr. Samp, cross-examination.
Thank you, Honor. It's no longer special agent, or it's still special agent?
Either way is fine.
All right. We'll stick with Special Agent Lee.
Okay.
All right. Now, sir, fair to say, working for the FBI would have been something of an honor, I would imagine, working for an organization like that.
Yes.
Fair to say, of course, that working for the FBI, I would imagine that other people would consider that to be the creme de la creme of investigation throughout our entire country.
If you want to understand how things work, especially...
I don't know. Of course, it looks like it's coming and going.
You put on seminars for law enforcement agencies throughout the country to help them with their investigative efforts, to help them become better police officers and detectives, fair?
You're talking about me specifically?
No. You as the FBI.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And with regard to that, have you ever gone to Compton Police Department to learn how they do their investigative techniques, make yourself or your agency a better agency, or yourself as a better special agent?
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
Have you ever gone to Compton Police Department to see how they do their investigations to become a better agent yourself?
No, I did not.
All right. And once again, with regards to what you do as the FBI...
I don't know about that question. You said you go to Compton to see how to be a better agent. Compton, really? You know, I don't know about his questioning methods. I don't know. That was like, why did the FBI got to learn from Compton PD? I'm just saying.
You're very specific in your task, right? Your task is whenever there's a violation of federal law, for instance, you're the agency that would be tasked.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
With regards to federal law, if there's a violation of federal law, you're the agency that typically would be tasked with the investigation, right?
Correct.
Now, we talked a little bit about the 302s in this case. And the 302, and just for the jury's edification, when you say it's sort of a means, it's really just a piece of paper and a pen, right?
It's a report.
Right. And so you are writing out what your impressions or recollection was of a specific event or time, right?
Correct.
So if you're sitting in a room and we're having a conversation, you would note in your report who's in the room and what your impressions were of what was said and who said what, right?
Correct.
Now, of course, juries here would be curious. You know, we have recorders now, back in 1996, 1998 in this case. Recorders were available to the FBI, but of course that's not how you do your job.
The use of recordings for the FBI they were not standard policy and procedure for the FBI at that period of time.
Yeah, and you've retired since, what, 5 years ago?
Yes.
During that time period, has it changed in terms of that policy with the FBI?
During the time period that I've been retired?
Right, no, up until the time that you retired. Has the policy changed?
The standard procedure is no, not to record.
Right, and so as a result of that, any recording that's done is typically not what the FBI does, right? You still focus on pen to paper recollection onto a 302.
Yes.
Okay. And so in terms of how you do it, the 302s that we read or at least saw put into the record is the work that you recall, your partner recalls during the course of an investigation.
Of that event, yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of the task force here, we talked a little about the task force project Safe Street. Is that what it was? Yes?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury a little bit of what that project was about?
The Safe Streets Task Force?
Yes.
So it's a compilation of multi-agencies directed to address gang activity within specific areas. So the Safe Streets Task Force initiative is a national initiative, but then there are fundings and directives that are sent to specific areas to address areas of high crime committed by gang activity.
Okay, and I would imagine gang activity would include violent crimes,
right,
as well as, say, in this case, drug dealing.
Drug trafficking, yes.
As long as it's associated with gangs.
Yes, primarily so, yeah.
Because, of course, you do have the DEA that also runs their own investigations as well.
DEA, ATF, yeah, we work with them.
Now, in terms of your about this task force, can you tell us at the time when you were operating on it, who was on the task force?
Oh, I mean, there were several agencies in terms of specific agencies.
Well, just in terms of your working with other people, do you recall at all who it was that was working on the task force with you at that time?
Well, there were members of Los Angeles PD. We've had, I believe there was ATF. So there was multiple aspects of the task force. So different squads had different elements working depending on what cities they were in. So we would have.
And don't wait until your pet gets that.
PD, Compton PD, LA County Sheriffs, LAPD, DEA, ATF. I believe we even had postal inspectors that might be involved. There's just a myriad of different agencies.
Sure. Can you tell us who from the Compton Police Department was part of your task force?
Our specific task force, the squad that I was on, Mr. Holliday, we did not have an element from Compton PD.
Why was that?
Because we were working in an area that was in Watts, in South Central Los Angeles, so we had LAPD elements, LA County Sheriffs.
So one of the things that we saw today was that one of the individuals that potentially was somebody of interest, I would imagine to you, was a police officer from Compton by the name of REG Wright Jr.
Well, he was a former police officer. There was Reggie Wright Sr., who was his father.
Okay, so your work in Inglewood and this other area, I would assume that that information with regards to Reggie Wright Jr. would have been sent to whoever it is that was working that particular area of LA?
Of Compton. There was a different squad that was working Compton, yes.
Can you tell us who that squad was?
What do you,
who was in that squad?
Yeah, the agents, or
yeah.
To be honest, I don't. Well, I mean, some of the agents I recall.
Do you know who that you can recall that was there?
At that specific time, I'm not sure. There was an agent, Elliott.
Michael Elliott?
Yeah, he worked down there, yes.
And I don't want to strain you a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah.
So, and
for clarification, because over that time period, agents will change squads and things of that nature. Like I left the gang task force in 2003, and squads would move and change objectives. So who was working at that specific time? There may have been somebody at one period and then it changed or whatever over the course of time.
And would it be fair to say, of course, that something like this, if you really need this information, you would refer to a 302, to refresh your recollection if you have.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, though, in terms of your role here, there was a proffer session that was conducted with my client, with Mr. Davis.
Yes.
And that proffer was set for July 16, 1998. That's the exhibit, I don't know, I think it's that one right there. That's correct. Up in the top right-hand corner, can you see the date?
That was the date of the report.
Right, so it'd be dated
It was actually July 14th.
Oh, July. Okay, so even though the date says 16th on this, it would be the 14th?
Yes, well, so there's a little bit like, the date of the 16th is the date of the report. Down at the bottom where it says 7/14/98, that's the date of the actual activity.
Okay. And you're meeting with Mr. Davis, and specifically you're meeting with him in terms of under the task force, which was gangs and whatever they're doing that's crime related to gangs. Is that what we were doing at this point under the Safe Street task force?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you meet with Mr. Davis, there was an understanding at that particular point that, hey, whatever you're going to tell us, we're not going to prosecute you for. Is that what was happening on that date?
Under the proffer agreement, yes.
Okay. And that proffer agreement, of course, does require the approval of the United States Attorney's Office that would be responsible for that area, right?
Yes.
And in this case, that person would have been Assistant United States Attorney Michael Terrell.
Right.
Was he present for that meeting?
Yes, he was.
Okay, so it's you, your partner, another FBI agent, as well as Special Agent Michael Terrell.
Assistant United States Attorney Michael.
I'm sorry, Assistant United States Attorney Michael Terrell. And in that meeting, there's an understanding between Mr. Davis and his attorney that whatever was going to be said was not going to be used against them.
Unless he came out and testified and said something that was contradictory to what he said in the proffer agreement, yes.
Sure. Now, once again, we're talking about the federal government here, right? So was there an actual proffer that was signed by the parties indicating the understanding that you're telling us right now in terms of what was the terms of the agreement?
Okay. All right. My recollection is that there is, but that's maintained by the United States Attorney's Office.
Okay. And since we're talking about that particular proffer here today, fair to say that would be...
I'm about to say no. I'm about to say he was going to say no. I said, uh-oh, we got problems. Here, wasn't signed, but it was signed, of course.
relevant information that we should be considering.
Objection to the form of the question calls for a legal conclusion.
Okay, sustained if you would rephrase.
So I want to make sure I'm clear here. We are talking about a proffer. You're telling us that there is an actual writing, a contract of some sort between yourself and Mr. Davis with regards to that proffer. Do you have a copy of it here today?
That's not between myself and Mr. Davis. It was between Mr. Davis and the United States Attorney's Office.
Okay. And once again, do you have a copy of that here today?
No, I do not.
Now, in terms of your understanding of this agreement, Mr. Davis gives an agreement, and in the agreement, I'm assuming, the idea behind it is that he has to give you truthful information, right?
Correct.
And if there's no truthful information, then he's exposing himself to a potential crime in which he's now freely admitted to it, right?
I'm not sure I understand the question you're asking.
Here, I don't want to break it down for myself because maybe I don't understand. So a proffer agreement promises the person that you're interviewing that we're not going to prosecute you for what you're telling us.
Right.
If the person's lying and you catch them lying, then technically the proffer doesn't count anymore because they violated their terms of the agreement. Is that how that goes?
Your deodorant might be letting this grow on your armpit.
I thought he said that already. That's how it goes.
If they lied during the agreement? During the proffer session.
Right.
So that doesn't necessarily the benefit is for consideration for plea bargaining and sentencing consideration. So if the individual who is being interviewed during the proffer session shows a lack of candor, lies, and things of that nature, then the consideration for a plea bargain, plea agreement, will be considered by the United States Attorney's Office and what they will offer to that defendant. As far as using it against them, it's still the proffer agreement terms as far as using that information against them in that case in chief on that charge, we would still not use it. Does that make sense?
Sure. I just want to make sure it makes sense.
Right. Okay. So one of the things about the proffer agreement is it's, as I said earlier, was to set up it's the beginning of a sort of plea negotiation period. So we go to Mr. Davis, we say, you come in, you tell us the truth, we won't use it against you in this case or whatever, regardless of what you say, and the United States Attorney's Office will take that information, determine how useful, how valuable it is. For example, not necessarily in this case, we've had individuals who provide information and then they actually go on to become cooperating witnesses for us. They're willing to testify in case against other co-defendants and things of that nature. All of that gets utilized in determining the sentencing for that person and for reducing their sentence on that federal charge. As you're suggesting, if an individual comes in and they're not truthful, they're providing us information that we know is factually inaccurate based on our other investigations, surveillance, wiretaps, and things of that nature, and statements from other witnesses, we would report that to the United States Attorney's Office, and they would take that as far as the sentencing that they would offer for the plea agreement. They would say, well, your client hasn't been forthright and candor. We're not going to reduce it at all.
Did you do that in this case? Was there any recommendation from you or your partner back to the United States Attorney's office, and specifically to AUSA Michael Terrell, that said, hey, Mr. Davis is not being forthright and truthful with regards to his July 14, 1998 statement?
I did not specifically do that. Whether or not Mr. Holliday did, I'm not aware.
Now, let me ask you this then. So, he gives a statement, and I want to make sure we're clear. You listen to what Mr. Davis says. Did you ever verify the information in here specifically about allegations of Tupac Shakur's murder?
Verify in terms of what?
Well, for instance, in the document that would have been the year 302 that stated as of July 14, 1998, there's an indication here, for instance, that at the Las Vegas casino, Davis's girlfriend, and Anderson's girlfriend went up to their hotel room at the Excalibur Casino. Now, once again, this is 1998. The death of Tupac Shakur was in September of 1996.
Right.
Did you ever verify that information with Las Vegas to see if either, and in this case, what the 302 indicates is that the room was in Anderson's name. Did you verify that to be true?
I did not specifically, no.
Okay. And then with regards to the way in which he describes, meaning Mr. Davis, how they got to Las Vegas, he says in here that they drove to Las Vegas in a Land Cruiser. Any particular reason? Did he have a Land Cruiser? Was there any verification of that information?
I did not verify that.
Now, in addition to that, he had indicated that Corey Edwards, Kevin Davis, Terry Brown, and Big Dre, or AKA Big Dre and Wynn had also traveled to Las Vegas. Did you ever verify if any of those individuals went to Las Vegas?
No, I did not.
And whether or not they stayed at the MGM Casino?
No, I did not.
Okay, so once again, for the jury's edification, shooting takes place in September of 1996. You're getting this information from Mr. Davis on July 1998, right?
Yes.
About a year and,
right.
8 months, something like that. Now, in addition to that, he had made mention...
just because he didn't verify it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's go.
That first interview that he believed that Compton police officers had been the ones to have committed that particular act, the crime in Las Vegas, in terms of the shooting of Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And once again, that's just for the record.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
And with regards to that, though, sir, did you ever look into the possibility that Compton police officers may have been involved in the shooting of Tupac Shakur?
I did not specifically know.
Okay, and when you say I did not specifically, do you have any personal knowledge as to who in the FBI was responsible for following up with that information?
I'm aware that there were numerous investigations going on. There was Las Vegas PD had an investigation. There were Compton PD, LAPD. There are numerous elements of investigation going on regarding the murder of Tupac Shakur, regarding Mr. Davis, our squad, and what we were investigating with regard to the gang activity and the drug trafficking and the charge that he was on. I was not specifically tasked to follow up and track that down. Who did? I'm not aware of.
Now, fair to say, though, of course, if you become aware of a crime like that, you would report the information that you have to whoever the responsible investigative agency would be, right?
Correct.
You're not just going to hold on to that information and just keep it to yourself,
correct?
Or ignore it.
Correct.
So in this case, for instance, you share with us that there were wiretaps that were being done of Mr. Davis's phone during the time period that you were investigating. Do you recall that line of questioning?
Yes.
Now, a wiretap is not the same as a pen register, right?
Correct.
And just for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, pen register is just numbers that you just that you keep recording in terms of what number is calling out, what number is being received.
Correct.
And then an actual wiretap is when you listen to phone calls where people are talking on the phone without you telling them that you're doing so. Right?
Correct.
So with regards to the information that you received and the phone calls that you had, were there any phone calls at all in which this guy over here, Mr. Davis, somehow admitted or said anything along the lines of that he was either involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur or that he was even in Las Vegas on the day it happened?
So the first part of the question, no, that would be no. There was nothing. Regarding the second part, being in Las Vegas, I believe my recollection is that there was conversation about being in Vegas and coming back to Vegas after the incident, the incident being the murder of Tupac Shakur, but that was it.
Okay, and once again, I don't want to put any real pressure on you. This is 30 years ago.
Right.
So in terms of that kind of information, that would have been at least given to somebody that would have been interested in knowing whether or not, Dwayne Davis was in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting of Tupac Shakur. Fair?
Yes.
And as far as you can recall, without looking at any notes to refresh your recollection here, that was never done.
Can you repeat that?
Sure. Did you personally ever make any calls to either Las Vegas Metro, LAPD, or Compton PD specifically about, hey, there's information here that Keefe was in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting? Was there anything like that?
So you asked the question and then you said something, then you asked a different. Could you please?
Is that the FBI answer to the question? Let me break it up. Did you ever make any calls to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police to say, hey, we've got some information here that Dwayne Davis? No. Did you ever make any calls specifically to LAPD to say, hey, I've got this guy on the phone, or he's making some discussions here that he was in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting of Tupac Shakur?
No, I didn't make any calls like that.
And then I'm assuming with regards to Compton PD, did you ever call Compton to talk to somebody like, I don't know, REG Wright Sr., the gang guy over there, to say, hey, by the way, one of the guys from your community is saying that he was in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting of Tupac Shakur?
No, I did not.
And I appreciate you breaking that down because I didn't want the jury as well to be confused. Now, in addition to that, you had made mention about the type of volume here, or what the type of volume that Mr. Davis was moving in terms of drugs. I want to make sure I'm clear. What kind of drugs are we talking about?
Cocaine.
Okay. And can you tell us, just in volume, what kind of volume that Mr. Davis was moving at that time?
I can't. I would be total speculation. All based off of what was said in his statements to us.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one where he said something, I believe, to the effect of like 70 kilos at one time, or that he was fronted large amount. I'd have to look. May I refer back to the report?
Sure. I know there's one for 60 kilos. I'm just want to make sure the jury understands.
Oh, I'm sorry. Primo Fine Davis, 200 kilos at one time.
Okay.
So fairly large scale.
Did you ever prove? Was that ever proven to be true?
That he received that quantity of cocaine at that time?
Yeah, sure. I mean, confidential informants show up on scene, undercover police officers are there, anything like that.
No.
So it's
Well,
literally
none of
what
that wasn't proven that he got that much cocaine. This is what Primo said he gave him. But I don't know. It's kind of hard. Well, I don't know if he got him on that or not. So you know what this lawyer's trying to say, saying he didn't move that much. He was said that he fronted him that, but that's why I was saying that where's the money at? If he was getting front 200, man, you know how much that is? Back in the 90s. And the prices was up too in some places. You know how much money he would have made. And then he was selling to over here on Ohio too, and other places. You know how much money that's like big meats. That's why he moving shit like big meats is moving. So the lawyer's trying to say that he wasn't moving all that dope. And the FBI cannot prove that he moved that much. Wait. Interesting.
It's just telling you, right, in your 302 for this particular time, but no verification of whether or not that was true or not.
Regarding that specific transaction, no.
Sure. Or let me make sure I'm clear here. That specific transaction of 200 kilos is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see or have any understanding of whether he was moving 300 kilos of cocaine every month as a drug dealer?
Did I?
Did you?
There's no way. He would have been. I'm asking where the money, where the house. They would have confiscated. He would have been big time. What, the nigga gave it away and shit, smoked it all away or something? I don't know. Tell me. There's no way he was selling that. What they was? He had kilos and giving them for $1,000 a piece or something. I don't know. That didn't sound right. They try to make him bigger than he is.
Did you ever get any information indicating that he was moving 300 kilograms of cocaine every month?
I did not have that kind of specific information. No.
Niggas are lying on the proffer agreement.
Now, in terms of Reggie Wright Jr., was there, I would assume that because it's not part of your area, did you refer that information to whoever it is that was part of the task force that would have covered the Compton area?
That would be
3, 2, 1, go.
And in terms,
I think the FBI know a lot of stuff, but they don't provide the information unless it's necessary. They know you was moving weight, but they're not gonna tell you. And they might say this and that or third to make it look like this dude did this to get more information out of them. I don't know. The FBI got their ways of doing things. That's all I can say. So anyway, let's go.
Of the Compton Police Department, fair to say that at some point they actually disbanded or they were shut down?
Yes, that's accurate.
And that would have been at what year?
I don't remember specifically. It was somewhere in the late 90s, I believe, or early 2000 period.
Okay. And why did they get disbanded?
I don't know these specifics. I know there was numerous allegations of corruption and such and things like that in the department. Organizational, structural problem deficiencies.
Okay. Your Honor, may I have a brief moment?
Yeah.
When you're part of the task force, you are looking for potential issues with regards to violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in this particular case, had you ever come across any information in your wiretaps or anything like that of Mr. Davis putting out a hit on someone or green lighting some type of violent act to be caused against somebody?
No.
No. And that would have been part of it would have been maybe an enhancement on.
Remember, his job is to prove that Keefe D was not the shot caller, wasn't this big drug dealer as people were saying. I don't know. they started a case, but it looks like maybe a little bit of speculation here. Him cross-examination of this FBI agent.
The sentencing guidelines in terms of if you're looking at increasing his amount of time, is that he's also doing something in furtherance of his self
violent activity and things of that nature. We would definitely be looking for, yes.
Right, and in this particular case, you don't have any proof of that at all. No facts to that.
Of him being violent?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Now there's a discussion here that Darnell Brin was identified as potentially the leader of the Southside Crips. You recall that? It should be at the end of the second 302 that you have.
Yes.
Now, in terms of that, did you ever verify that information as to whether or not Mr. Davis was lying or not about that?
No, I did not personally verify that. No.
And so as of this particular moment, as you're sitting here right now, do you have any facts at all that establishes that Mr. Davis was a shot caller or the leader of the Southside Crips?
Could you repeat that the way you phrased
Meaning, do you have any facts? Do you have something that says he said out on the phone, I don't know what they do. They attended a meeting. I mean, it's like...
I mean, with these gang organizations, there's not like membership cards and things of that nature. It's not like they've got a organized org chart of who is the president, vice president, and this and that nature for the most part. A lot of times it is just word on the street, who runs this area, who's in charge. And it was the way we assessed that Mr. Davis was one of the leaders of the Southside Compton Crips was the totality of information we'd received from numerous informants, witness statements, and things of that nature, wiretaps and things like that.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. You done?
Yeah.
And I would imagine that because Mr. Davis was a drug dealer, that the money that he was bringing in was probably the reason why he was considered to be a leader in the Southside Crips.
Because of the money that he was bringing in?
Well, I mean the drugs, right? I mean that's
the
really
volume
the
of drugs. Yeah, I mean the leader, the guys who are moving the most weight, the high volume drug sales are going to be generally speaking the leaders.
Right.
They're the ones that the other guys are going to go to get their quantities and things like that for sales.
Sure. And in this particular case, that's the presumption, right? It's because Mr. Davis was a drug dealer, he would be considered with some status within the Southside Crips.
Well, I wouldn't call it a presumption. Again, it's a totality of statements from other individuals and the information that we got. I mean, it wasn't the fact that he was a drug dealer that all of a sudden alerted us and said he must be a high-level Southside Compton Crip. It was a totality of information from our investigation.
Sure. Now, the word presumption, what does that mean, by the way?
Presumption that you presume, you're making an assumption.
But it's a little bit better than that, right? It's the idea there are some facts that support whatever it is that you are throwing out there as the...
That can be the case, yes.
Now, in this particular regard, you talk a little bit about the Lakewood incident, right? It's in your report, I think, and I want to make sure on your 302, this would be... And, so if you run across it before I do, this would be page 4 of your 302, the date 7/14/98. Do you see where I'm at? It would be maybe the third, the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph down.
This is where I talk about what I like.
This is wild, man. Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
In terms of your presumption, the idea of the presumption, you're telling us that there is some facts that help you to have that presumption, right? Some facts. Can you tell us what facts you have to support that there was even a Lakewood incident that occurred?
I'm sorry.
What? They're trying to say what? He's trying to say that the Lakewood incident didn't occur? Okay. Hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Okay, geez.
You're asking what facts?
Sure.
We have several witness statements.
Okay, so you have several witness statements. You are aware that those allegedly, and according to what you write yourself, this was a couple weeks before the murder of Tupac Shakur. Marcus, who lived at the Southside Crip neighborhood, was in a mall by himself. A number of Blood Street gang members attacked Marcus and began beating him. Orlando Anderson and then others approached the situation, observed what was happening, then went to the aid of Marcus. They beat up the Blood gang members. That's what you wrote in your 302, right?
That's for true, man.
Yeah. Now, in terms of that information, did you ever go to the mall to verify that there was this thing that happened a couple weeks before the murder of Tupac Shakur, which would have been sometime in August of 1996? Did you ever do that?
No, I did not.
Now, in fairness to you, sir, Lakewood Mall and that area is governed by a police department. I don't. Is it Compton or is it the next one over? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been Compton.
Okay. So where was the next one? Did you ever at any point reach out to that police department to say, hey, can you get us the information on this so we can verify it before we put it into our 302 that the, a couple of weeks before the murder of Tupac Shakur, there was a beating that took place? Did you ever do that?
Okay, so your statement regarding doing it before we put in that was information that was provided to us by Mr. Davis. So at that time, we're just recording what Mr. Davis is telling us.
Sure.
So this is a follow-up investigation upon that.
Sure, but the state has now introduced this document in as an exhibit for the jury to consider. You're telling us that you can't verify the information in it?
I'm telling you what Mr. Davis told us.
Okay, but you cannot verify that information. You're telling us right now you didn't verify the information that he told you.
I didn't verify that specific event.
Okay. Do you know if your partner did?
I'm not sure. If you're referring to Mr. Holliday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate yes or no.
No, and I appreciate you doing that. I don't want you to do that either. Okay. Now, Mr. Davis is in prison during this time. At some point in the future, you had mentioned that he was in there April 20th, 1999, something like that?
During the second interview, yes.
Right. Now, did you at any point ever look at his, while he was in there, how he was doing, anything like that? Any write-ups he might have had while he was in there, anything like that?
From the penitentiary?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
We promise a tenfold refund if it doesn't work.
Hold on, folks. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Okay, let's go.
And then finally, just one final thing here. There was some mention in your 302, and I apologize for bouncing you back, but I'm taking you back to the July 14th, 1998 302. But in that 302, there was an allegation, or at least some information that you documented that stated that Reggie Wright Jr. Was dealing drugs out of a auto shop called the Untouchables Auto Shop, owned by Melvin Hurd. Do you recall that? That's actually on the top of page 4.
Yes.
Do you know why that's important and why you included that in your 302?
Well, activity regarding Reggie Wright Jr., Reggie Wright Sr., these individuals incompetent and things like that would have been important. They would have been documented. Mr. Davis provided us that information. So again, this is also information that would be utilized for for consideration by the U.S. Attorney's Office and things like that. So all of the information is important.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Any redirect, Mr. Strupka?
Just briefly, you have both of those.
Yes.
302s in front of you, right?
Okay.
So we'll start with the July 14th, 98 one. It specifically says in the first paragraph, also, it was understood that the information provided by Davis during the interview would not be used by the FBI in a way which would disclose to individuals outside the FBI that the information came from Davis.
Correct.
So other FBI personnel may have learned about this, but certainly you wouldn't be calling.
Do you think factory built
Metropolitan Police Department and telling them, hey, guess what Dwayne Davis just told me?
That's correct. Yeah, there's a confidentiality portion of the proffer agreement that this is it's offered in a way to elicit information. It's saying, hey, what you tell us here is not going to be told to anybody, and we won't divulge that you're the one providing this information and things of that nature.
And you're there talking to him, in your case, is about a drug case. It's not about Tupac Shakur. That just happens to be a subject that comes up in the conversation.
That's correct.
It's not your responsibility. Well, let me ask you this. Tupac Shakur is killed in the state of Nevada, the county of Clark. Who prosecutes murder cases usually for street-level shootings in Clark County?
That would be like Las Vegas Metro PD, the DA's office here in Las Vegas.
The state of Nevada. It's not a federal crime to commit a murder in Las Vegas in most situations.
That's correct.
And so you're just gathering this information, and you did what you promised, which was keep it confidential until such time as you were authorized by the U.S. Attorney to talk about it.
Yeah, QPD attorney was fishing, man. His fishing was trying to. FBI don't usually make mistakes, and they gather information and save it for later and build a case from that. But it is what it is. But let's go.
The only other thing I want to ask you about is Mr. Samft, there is a difference between proffer and immunity. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What Mr. Davis was telling you, you wouldn't use against him, correct?
Correct.
There wasn't any sort of immunity for any crimes that he disclosed. You just couldn't use the statements that he made to you to prosecute him for those particular crimes.
That's correct.
And that was an agreement between the United States Attorney's Office and Mr. Davis.
That's correct.
At no point in here did the state of Nevada, the Clark County District Attorney's Office, or any agency other than the U.S. Attorney's Office make an agreement with Mr. Davis about these 302s.
That's correct.
Nothing further.
Any cross based on that, Mr. Samft?
I'm sorry, what was that last question again? I'm trying to figure that out. Hey, so you're telling us, you're giving us information right now about your knowledge of what the other law enforcement agencies had agreements on or not? How do you know that?
I didn't give that information. I didn't say that.
So can we repeat that last question?
We don't have
All right.
that,
Well,
that capability. We can pause and show you.
No, that's all right. I just want to get to the point. What Mr. DiGiacomo just asked you was that there were no other agreements with regard to your agreement. Your agreement was the sole agreement between yourself and Mr. Davis, or FBI and Mr. Davis, and no other.
The United
entity.
States Attorney's Office and Mr. Davis.
I apologize. The United States Attorney's Office and Mr. Davis, and no other entity. Right? I think that's how it was put.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You don't know that though. Did you when you? What?
No. Come on, man. Really? You don't. There's another agreement. They would know it was another agreement made by another agency.
Sustained stricken. You can ask a question.
You are not aware of any agreements between with other agencies because you just don't know. You are just here on behalf of the federal government and the FBI, right?
With regard to the interview that myself and Todd Holliday conducted with Mr. Davis on July 14th, 1998, the agreement was between the United States Attorney's Office with the FBI there and Mr. Davis. Nobody else was party to that.
Even though this was a joint task force, this was part of.
No, it was a joint task force. It was the United States Attorney's Office, the FBI, and Mr. Davis.
Okay, and with regards to that task force, even though other government agencies were potentially involved in the task force, they weren't involved with regards to this agreement, the proffer. I mean, they weren't part of the proffer, is what you're saying, even though it's part of a task force.
Correct.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. DiGiacomo? No. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions to this witness?
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. That's it. He's gonna be dismissed. Okay, he's gonna be dismissed. I'm gonna move on forward to let's see. And I'm gonna play this a little bit of this, and I'm gonna get on.
This electric nail file was specially designed for people dealing with thick, yellow, or damaged nails.
Let me get that.
The party stipulates for the presence of the jury.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You may be seated. All right, now the state can call the next witness.
Darren Dupree.
Okay, now this is the detective, the LAPD detective that was on the case. We got him up on stand now. I'm gonna play a few of these. I might just come back the next day or whatever and go on for it. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm trying to stay on this case, but I'm gonna try to. I might be lag behind. I might have to probably double up and go through this.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated. And if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Darren, D-A-R-Y-N, Dupree, D-U-P-R-E-E.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready to state, you may proceed.
Thank you. Sir, how did you used to be employed?
I was a detective for the Los Angeles Police Department.
How long were you with the LAPD?
33 and a half years.
And when did you start?
In 1990.
And through the majority of your career, what kind of crimes did you focus on?
Homicides, gang homicides.
And I direct your attention to approximately 2006. Were you asked to be part of a task force related to the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yes, I was.
And can you describe that task force for us?
Robbery homicide, homicide specials, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, FBI, ATF, and DEA were all a part of the task force.
And was there a precipitating event that caused the 2006 task force to be formed?
Yeah, Christopher Wallace's mother filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Police Department.
And what was the allegation in the lawsuit?
That there was police officer involvement in his death.
LA police officer involvement?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of the 2006 task force?
To uncover, first of all, if there was any police officer involvement, and also to hopefully solve the Biggie Smalls murder case.
Now, by 2008, this is 11 years after the homicide. I assume that there was records that the LAPD would have gathered initially in the investigation in the ensuing 11 years that you had access to.
Yes.
Did you guys, or did the task force formulate a plan as to how you were going to go about investigating the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yeah. There was rumors that this was a war between Southside Compton Crips and Mob Piru. Puffy Combs label, Bad Boy, and Death Row Records. So we started there, and that consisted of coming to Vegas, getting all their files, getting up to speed on the Tupac murder. Although we weren't investigating it, we just wanted to get up to speed on it. And then starting there, everybody was a suspect at that time in the Biggie Smalls murder.
At the time you come to Vegas and learn what information the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has, who is the detective that you're having the contact with from Metro?
Detective Dan Long.
At some point, you go back, you begin investigating. Did you have any suspects that you identified and wanted to potentially look at?
From the initial investigation, Southside Compton Crip possibly had something to do with the murder because they weren't paid for the Tupac murder, and then also Death Row Records, that they were involved because of the retaliation for the Tupac murder. So, like I said, everybody was a suspect at that time.
During the course of the investigation,
You paid for the murder.
did you at some
Paid for the murder. Jeez.
point focus on a person identified as Dwayne Davis?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Davis here in court today?
Yes.
You point him out, describe something he's wearing.
He's at the defense table with a blue shirt and a multicolored tie.
May the record reflect the identification of the defendant.
Is he wearing a jacket or no jacket? No jacket.
No jacket.
So reflected.
How is it that, how is it that you target Mr. Davis?
The vehicle used in the Christopher Wallace murder was a Impala. Mr. Davis had an Impala, and they had impounded it early on in the investigation. So we started with him.
And did you have information related to what his position was in the Southside Crips?
I mean, we knew that Mr. Davis was the man with all the money.
Oh, skip.
I was the lowest level, the bottom of the food chain detective. I was a gang expert, and I knew a little bit about the rap industry. So that was
That's how you got brought in?
Yes.
The Southside Crips, did they have kind of two crews associated with them?
As far as I know, yes.
And one of those crews, the Burr Street crew, who was that sort of generally headed by?
It was Keefy D, amongst others.
The Glencoe crew, Who is sort of the leader of that group?
From what we gathered, Darnell Graham.
How is it that you're going to go about investigating Mr. Davis for the Biggie Smalls murder? What's your plan?
I had never worked with the DEA, FBI. I was a homicide investigator coming in. So above my pay grade, they tried to figure out a way to get leverage on Mr. Davis through narcotic sales. We would bring him in after we caught him with narcotics and see if he would work with us and give us information on the Biggie Smalls case.
And were you able to gather enough information to potentially arrest and charge him with narcotics?
Yes.
And how much narcotics are we talking about here?
From what I remember, it was PCP, a gallon, and
Want to hear a short story
Yeah,
about the
gallon
average
PCP.
timeshare vacation?
Yes, he looked like he's an old dude that was on the PCP shit. I knew dudes back in the day in the hood, they was hitting that PCP shit.
if I'm not mistaken.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he looked like he older than me. He looked like he was on that PCP shit.
And with Mr. Davis's past criminal history as well as that amount or weight of drugs.
Let me pull it back.
I was a gang expert, and I knew a little bit about the rap. It's through narcotic sales. We would bring him in after we caught him with narcotics and see if he would work with us and give us information on the Biggie Smalls case.
And were you able to gather enough information to potentially arrest and charge him with narcotics?
Yes.
And how much narcotics are we talking about here?
From what I remember, it was PCP, a gallon, and a kilo of cocaine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And with Mr. Davis's past criminal history as well as that amount or weight of drugs, what kind of sentence was he looking at for that type of drugs?
As I said, I wasn't familiar with the Fed system. From what I was told, though, that was a life sentence with the amount of drugs that were confiscated.
So once you've gathered all this evidence,
Hold on real quick. All right, let's go.
Do you do anything to indicate to Mr. Davis that you've got your leverage?
We met with him.
And who's we?
Me and Detective Greg Cady.
And where did that meeting take place?
If I recall, it was at Mr. Davis's residence, maybe in Rancho Cucamonga or Corona. I forget the location. And we sat in his garage and we advised him of what we had. And we get an attorney and we'll meet with you a couple days later in LA at the Fed building and we'll discuss it more.
Now, was there a suggestion to Mr. Davis that he shouldn't use the lawyer by the name of Edie Fall?
I don't know anything about that.
Does there come a point in time when you wind up at a meeting with Mr. Davis and his lawyer?
Yes.
And that first meeting, what are you there to talk to Mr. Davis about?
To show him the evidence that we had against him, the video surveillance that we had. We did a lot of surveillance on him.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I forwarded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118.
Even as a case against him.
And so do you eventually wind up in a meeting with his lawyer in either the lawyer's office or a police station to talk to him about that?
I think that first meeting was at the AUSA's office in downtown Los Angeles with him and his attorney and about 4 or 5 people from the task force.
And was there your understanding as to what the circumstances of what you could and couldn't use against Mr. Davis of what he's talking to you about?
Yes, and again, I'm just in the room. I never even been in the AUSA's office at that time, so I'm just observing what's going on.
Did anyone use the term "this is a proffer"?
Yes.
And was that agreement between the AUSA? Do you remember that AUSA's name?
Timothy Seawright.
And do you remember the attorney for Mr. Davis? His name?
Wayne Higgin.
And so there was an agreement in that first meeting that this would be a proffer.
Yes.
And during the course of that, do you ask Mr. Davis about his involvement in the Biggie Smalls murder?
Yes.
And what is his response?
At that time, he said, no, we didn't have anything to do with that.
And when he said, we didn't have anything to do with that one, did that trigger anything in your mind as to what he was saying?
When I recall, yes. We were like, that one, what do you mean? And then he said, we did the other.
He said, we did the other one.
We did the other one.
And so, at that point, what did you think he was talking about?
Me personally, the only other one was Tupac. But we had nothing, we didn't think he was, we were talking about Christopher Wallace. We didn't ask him any questions about Tupac. He offered that on his own.
And so when he does that, is there some discussion then of maybe having a conversation about Tupac?
It was a surprise to us. Number one, we were shook. We were surprised. Yes.
What are you there to talk to Mr. Davis about?
To show him the evidence that we had against him, the video surveillance that we had. We did a lot of surveillance on him to show him everything we had and what he was looking, to receive in as a case against him.
And So do you eventually wind up in a meeting with his lawyer in either the lawyer's office or a police station to talk to him about that?
I think that first meeting was at the AUSA's office in downtown Los Angeles with him and his attorney and about 4 or 5 people from the task force.
And was there your understanding as to what the circumstances of what you could and couldn't use against Mr. Davis about what he's talking to you about?
Yes, and again, I'm just in the room. I never even been in the AUSA's office at that time, so I'm just observing what's going on.
Did anyone use the term, this is a proffer?
Yes.
And was that agreement between the AUSA, do you remember that AUSA's name?
Timothy Seawright.
And do you remember the attorney for Mr. Davis, his name?
Wayne Higgins.
And so there was an agreement in that first meeting that this would be a proffer.
Yes.
And during the course of that, do you ask Mr. Davis about his involvement in the Biggie Smalls murder?
Yes.
And what is his response?
At that time, he said, no, we didn't have anything to do with that.
When he said, we didn't have anything to do with that one, did that trigger anything in your mind as to what he was saying?
Man.
When I recall, yes. We were like, that one, what do you mean? And then he said, we did the other one.
He said, we did the other one. And so, at that point, what did you think he was talking about?
Me personally, the only other one was Tupac. But we had nothing, we didn't think he was, we were talking about Christopher Wallace. We didn't ask him any questions about Tupac. He offered that on his own.
And so when he does that, is there some discussion then of maybe having a conversation about Tupac?
It was a surprise to us. Number one, we were shook. We were surprised. Yes. I mean, I don't know if we shut that meeting down then to discuss what we were going to do. I don't remember, but we were surprised.
Does there come a point in time when there's a meeting set for December 18th of 2008 to talk to Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
In your understanding, was that still based upon the agreement between Wayne Higgins and the U.S. Attorney that it would be a proffer session?
Yes.
If you're a side sleeper, this almost feels illegal to share.
Before having this conversation with Mr. Davis, has anybody notified Las Vegas that Mr. Davis is going to be talking about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Unfortunately, no.
Were you present on December 18th for an interview with Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
And did you subsequently learn, or previously learned, but subsequently learn that that conversation was recorded?
Yes.
Do you know who recorded that statement?
One of the members of the task force, Bill Holcomb.
Did there come a point in time where you heard that recording?
Yes.
And Judge, I have marked as State Proposed Exhibit 117, which is the actual recording, and 110, which is the transcript of that recording. I'm out from it this time.
Any objection?
I think this briefing currently still lacking foundation with regards to that. The answer, the question that was asked was like, do you recognize the recording?
Okay. Do you want to play?
I can play part of that recording.
Okay, we're gonna play the recording. I'm gonna stop it there. I just wanted to get that part where it looks like he had something to do with the Tupac murder. The detective saying that we was all shook. Wow, this is crazy, man. But anyway, okay, let me stop sharing. All right, folks, I'm gonna end this. I gotta get something to eat. But I wanted to go through this, and I'm gonna try to go through the rest of it next time I come on. But anyway, thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. If you out supporting the channel. Yeah, people came by. I didn't have a panel, but that's all right. We try to get it Sunday a panel. I talk about something. I got some stuff I want to talk about besides the case and stuff. I'm gonna try to get the case stuff out before Sunday. So, yeah. So that's it for me. I'm out of here. Till next time, see you guys on the other side. Peace.